What's good, everybody? It's your boy AngelX24X, and I got another video for you. In today's video, we are going to watch Typical Gamer's video on Is Fortnite Dying? Okay? Now, I'm going to give you a little backstory before we get into this. I am playing Fortnite on and off. I started in season 3, season 4, and season 5. Didn't play Fortnite until chapter 5, season 1. Okay? Played Chapter 5 Season 1. Didn't play it again until Chapter 5 Season 4. And then it went into Chapter 6 Season 1. Okay? So when it comes to the reasoning on why people stop playing Fortnite, I am your example. Okay? So, I'm not saying I'm the best player. I'm not saying I'm the worst player. I'm definitely, there's levels to this shit. I understand it. You start, there's multiple levels. I am at the lower end of those levels. I try to be good. I try to learn the metas. I try to learn how to get better at Fortnite. I watch my YouTube videos. I'm still casual, right? I got my normal job that I go to, but I'm still a casual player. So I really want you guys to take that. And before we get into it, go ahead and hit that like button. Leave a comment below if you think Fortnite is dying and what you would do to fix it. And go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It's free. All right, let's jump right into this.
Fortnite is dying, but I think it's going to make a huge comeback because of a lot of upcoming changes. Let's take a look. So last summer, Fortnite was averaging over 2 million concurrent players, but this year it's barely...
I want to say too that I understand that people want to look at, player counts. And my thing is, though, this game in particular has been out since 2017, and games are gonna gradually die over time, especially if it's the same game, right? So in cases of Fortnite, it's a free-to-play, live service game. It's gonna die over time. Now, it's not gonna die. Like, what we mean by die is, the player base is gonna, back in the day, 30 million people were constantly playing the game. Well, of course, now after almost 10 years of the game being out, there's more games that are coming out that people are going to gravitate toward and play, right? Fortnite was this new, cool innovation of a Battle Royale. And Battle Royale is something I want to talk about later if he brings it up. But Battle Royales were new back then, okay? And they added this different element. So now that Fortnite's been out for a minute now, it's okay that they only average 1 million players. It's okay. This is where the dust settles, right? Now, to be fair, that's on Fortnite to make the game fun for everybody. But to all my videos, if you guys haven't watched my TikTok, plug TikTok AngelX24X, or my other YouTube videos, AngelX24X, there's a lot of debate on which way you should lean. Should you go the casual route or should you go the pro route? And what I mean by that is updates. And if you make certain updates, it makes it not fun for either or. But to be fair, they have a ranked play and they have a public match. So make the public matches for casual, make the ranked play for pro players, and let them play each other. It's not that hard. Sorry, that was a tangent. Let's get into this.
Hitting over 1 million players during the same time. Oh, wow, that guy just got bodied. So if you look at Roblox, they were averaging 7 million players last year, but this summer they're consistently hitting 30 million players, which is double Fortnite's peak player count ever. So what is going on?
Remember, Roblox is not a competitive gaming arena, right? You don't go to Roblox to compete in a tournament, right? That's why people enjoy Roblox, because there's probably a lot of game modes that are on there that are, one, not that serious, and two, there isn't a ranked play system in Roblox. So you got to imagine that, that's why there's so many more players playing it, because it's more casual, it's more casual friendly, okay?
It's not like gaming is going away or something. Why is Fortnite getting less popular, or seemingly less popular? I think I have the answer to it, and honestly, it might surprise you. I also have what I believe to be the solution, so make sure to watch this whole video. My loadout is insane, by the way. So let's talk about some things that...
Ironically, he's double pumping. They complained about the double pump with the wrecked revolvers. So what did they do? They nerfed that you can't double pump with the wrecked revolvers, so they just switched it to using a different shotgun. bro. You guys don't make sense. Like, fully commit to getting rid of it, or let us all be able to enjoy it.
I think are not helping Fortnite. Now, first and foremost, and
what I mean by that is, like, double pumping with a rect revolver and a sentinel, or double pumping with a rect revolver and a sweeper, is not as good as double pumping with the rect revolvers, right? So if every player had the ability to use the double rect revolver, that's fair. It's competitive, right? It's even. Everybody has the ability to do it. So when you take it away, now you're limiting. Like, he has a very good setup right now, right? Because he went to the OXR headquarters. So keep it pushing.
This is kind of a funny one. I think it's just, in general, the battle royale genre is kind of in the dumps. So think about any battle royale game. If they did super well in the past, they're probably not doing as well right now, because just the...
I mean, how many different games have tried to make a battle royale? How many more battle royale games can you guys play? Right? Like, you think about it, when people talk about, hey, let's play battle royale, you either think Fortnite or Warzone, and maybe a little bit of PUBG. You guys got to remember, I know a lot of people want to say, oh, there's so many games out there. There is not. There is not. Not that are good, you know, not that have constant updates or look good or play good or have cool mechanics. Like, you guys got to understand, just because someone makes a battle royale and slaps the title on it doesn't mean it's a game that's viable to play. Right? The reason why Fortnite and Warzone were even able to be possible was because PUBG's performance was so bad that no one wanted to play it. They only played it in the beginning because it was the only battle royale. Then Fortnite came along, Warzone came along. Right? So, there you go.
Genre of games that is battle royale is just not performing as well. Now, why is that? I don't know. People know exactly, maybe because it was new and fresh back in the day. But as time has gone on, people have kind of gotten over it. When you think about it, it's an interesting concept because 100 people enter and only one person, or I guess if you're playing duos, trios, or squads, multiple people can exit the victor. But not that many people win. And when you get eliminated, you have to start all over again.
I've been saying this for the longest time. When people hop on to play video games, they want to have fun, right? The goal of Fortnite or Warzone and Battle Royale in general is to be the last person standing. So every time you die and you're not the last person standing, you didn't win. Nobody wants to play 2-3 hours and not win, right? Now, that doesn't mean add a bunch of bots and make it easier and add skill-based matchmaking. What it means is you need to make the game more enjoyable throughout the match by giving everybody fun stuff to use and probably a better chance at winning the match. Don't manipulate someone's gaming experience. Give them tools so that way they can get better, right? And I go and I talk about this in my previous video. Have a boot camp or a specific private match, because somehow you can't have private match on Fortnite where you have 99 bots and you play that, and it would be called zero build bots, build mode bots, and you can go play bots and just play bots all day long, and that way you can get better and learn how to drop down and you could practice. That would be good for everybody. But at the end of the day, the goal of winning a battle royale is to be the victor. And to his point, only one person can be the victor. Obviously, unless you're playing in, squads, trios, or whatever, duos. But there needs to be more enjoyment within the middle of the match. And I give you an example in this season. This season has a big map that has a bunch of stuff that nobody wants to go to, right? All the outer edge of the map, like, really nobody goes to. Maybe the bots do, and then they slowly make their way. But a lot of them end up dying to the storm, because they don't use jump pads. They don't do any of that stuff, which is another problem in itself. But you have all this extra part of the map, so, like, either you spawn in the middle ring and then you die quickly, or you spawn on the outside and it's a boring trek the rest of the match, right? That's where the developers have to do a better job of incentivizing the gameplay they want to have. Do you want fast engagement, pushing the storm closer, getting people to come in to fight more, or do you want a more slow-paced type of style? If you want a more slow-paced, well, then add more weapons that, accommodate for that, right? There's no sniper rifles in this season. So if I wanted to play a long range game, I can't. I need to get a little bit closer with the medium-sized weapons, or, I got to use, obviously, we got to use, shockwave grenades, fizzberries, and stuff like that. So again, fix the middle of the game, the beginning and the middle of the game, and it would take away the how do I say, like, the sole purpose of the game is to win the match, right? There's not challenges in Fortnite. The reason why people play Call of Duty, right, is because they want a camo grind. Well, you don't have to win those games, and you don't have to get a ton of kills to feel satisfied. You could just get the camos. Now, I don't like that, but unfortunately, it's something that kind of works. They need to have a different way, but it works, right, in that principle. So Fortnite needs to do something of that. But what I'm saying is you guys, instead of doing stupid challenges or stuff like that, there needs to be gameplay moments. Adding the queen and getting a medallion was a good thing, right? A lot of people are like, oh, the medallion's overpowered. La, 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 la. Like, shut up. Like, it was overpowered if you had to play against it. That's the point of the medallion. They did all the work by going to a hot drop location, killed the players that were there, killed the queen. They should be rewarded. That's how it should work, right? But that should be around the entire map, not just in 3 locations, okay? Again, sorry for the tangent. Let's get back into it.
So does that kind of not feel great for some people? I can imagine that. You guys are getting double pump. Bam.
I will admit that this is also why I don't play solos. That I don't play solos because of that. Because, at the end of the day, like, you hop onto a match, you either commit to 25 minutes of a solo match and creeping around the map, or you play a minute because you either try to push them or you're trying to play the slow game. So this is one reason why I don't play solos, because I'd rather have more players on my team that will make it last longer, because if I die, I can come back. Okay, and then we'll get into this, because I think he might touch on this. Let's see.
Again, this part isn't Fortnite specific, so even if Fortnite was absolutely popping, I think if they just kept working on Battle Royale and Battle Royale only, they would still see a decline just because of how, that genre is doing. Now, I will say that Fortnite has definitely noticed this. Again, I don't work there or anything, so these are just my observations. But they've made new game modes like Reload and even Blitz to try to counteract how long the Battle Royale games in the traditional format, which I think those gameplay formats have resonated really well with players and have made definitely a dent in the damage, if that makes sense. Give me this.
So again, I've said this before and I'll say it again. Most players like respawning game modes, right? They like respawning game modes. Okay, so in the beginning of Fortnite, they didn't have the reboot vans. Then they added the reboot vans. Now they added totally different game modes in Reload and Blitz. Okay, now in my personal opinion, Reload should have the same loot pool as the main game, because I went to go play Reload and it's a totally different weapon pool and all that stuff. Now they just updated it. So, but now it has a spirit rifle. So again, that's outdated to the actual game mode. So again, all game modes should have the same loot pool, depending on what you're trying to do, right? So for instance, in a ranked play, that should have its own, loot pool based off of the pros' thought process on what's overpowered and what's not overpowered. Let them decide that, right? I mean, at the end of the day, like, again, I think that everybody should be playing the same fucking game, whether you're playing ranked, whether you're playing pubs. That's my opinion, but I get it, right? A lot of pro players and a lot of casuals think totally different, so you do it that way, okay? And so with that, a lot of people like respawning game modes, okay? And so, people like, oh, Battle Royales, like Tim the Tapman says he doesn't want to play 6v6. He wants to play Reload. But then you look at him and he's like, well, you play Warzone. Warzone, you can buy your loadout and you can buy players back. Exact same thing as like respawning, just on a bigger scale with 100 people. That's the lore of Battle Royale, is that there's 100 people and you're like, I can get 50 kills. That's the lore. That's the lore of it. Let's keep it pushing.
Oh, great bugs. Everyone loves bugs. What's this guy doing? Oh my. Might be the one. Ow! I'm gonna go chase this guy. Is he still on the roof? We're about to find out. We're zooming. Oh, I'm gonna slide kick him off. No. I love the skin though. That'd be skin. Somebody below me.
Ain't no way that's the type of player he runs into. We sit here and talk about that guy that I shot. Like if I would have shot at him, he'd have lasered me. But the fact that he was able to shockwave twice. He not only did he took damage from the bug, healed up, shockwave twice to him, slid past him, turned around, shot him once. That's the player he was going up against. And the guy had the most highest ground. The confidence he has to push that. Like, you shouldn't be pushing someone with a high ground like that.
I'm just going to do this. I am.
I was wondering, are we playing builds or zero builds?
And no glaze. I'm too good. I want to talk about some other specific factors as well. I want to talk about some other specific... It's a little too overpowered.
So...
I am. I'm going to drop the dub pump. It's a little too overpowered.
Like, okay, here are all the good players getting rid of all the good stuff. I want a double pump. You know what I'm saying? I want a double pump. But no, Taboo Gamer says, oh, it's too overpowered. Let me drop it. Oh my god. Us casual players want to have fun too. We don't get the amount of time. You probably been playing all day. So of course you probably use the double pump all damn day long. I just got home from work. I want to freaking use it. But it's been nerfed.
And no glaze. I'm too good. I want to talk about some other specific factors as well that I don't think are helping Fortnite. We've got bugs, and I'm not talking about like glitches in the game. I'm talking about literally these annoying bugs over here. I'm going to be honest. I've played Fortnite for like, what, 8 years now? Since even before it was officially released. These bugs are one of the most annoying things all time. Like, I get it. It's a cool concept. It's fun, but they're so annoying. They're so loud, and they just eat your ankles. Look at them. They do no damage, but they're so annoying. And I heard that if you're on controller and you try to aim at somebody, sometimes it'll lock onto the bugs. I don't know if they fixed that. That's down bad, you know? And if you go over to the kind of the queen areas where you can fight the bosses.
My thing with the bugs is, like, if you're playing solos, you should never, like, as a casual, right? Like, I played, I don't know, 15, 20 matches yesterday, and I tried to land on Rangers Ruin almost every time. My only good game was when I landed outside of Rangers and pushed in and slowly killed the bugs as I was going in. If I land in Rangers Ruin, I got to fight trying to get a weapon. I have to fight a player that either is pushing or trying to do whatever, and then I have to fight the bugs. The bugs are really only good for your rank XP. So it's like, bro, if you can avoid them, avoid them. Especially if you're playing solo. Now, if you're playing more than that, you can easily get in and kill them and keep it pushing. But you don't, because then you spawn the queen, which is another thing in itself.
The bugs get even more annoying. It's actually impressive how that's even possible. I'm going to head over to one of those areas to show you. I can see why people get absolutely overstimulated fighting these bugs. And I can see why somebody would not even want to play the season because the bugs are that annoying. I'm going to go ahead and fly this guy. A lot of mobility. Oh man, this guy's not going to like this. Yep, it's the way the cookie crumbles, my friend. By the way, this bug blaster's broken. Take a roly-poly.
Why is everything broken? This is what I'm talking about. Everything is broken. So you're going to just nerf everything and get rid of everything? Bro, stop.
Has done like an annoying mechanic that's supposed to be fun. I think the music in a lot of important areas for a long time has been like way too loud. I remember like high seasons where the music playing in the vault is just like, man, sometimes I don't even want to go in the area because it's so freaking loud. But look, this is one of the areas where you go in, it says neutralize the threat. That's cool. Everything's so loud. And Fortnite's a game where like hearing things is very important, and in these areas you can't really turn down the volume unless you turn down the volume on everything. So it's just like so damn bad. But really the annoying music part comes in when I'm gonna fight the queen here in a second, which by the way doesn't drop medallions anymore. We'll talk about that in a second. Oh, okay, look, they're just randomly spawning on me. Come on, spawn this queen. Almost there. Again, I think the mechanic is kind of cool. There's just a bunch of things they could do to make it better. Now listen to the music, me fighting the queen, bugs jumping on me. It's just like a loud experience overall. And honestly, this instance right here is pretty tame compared to what normally happens. Ew. Boom, boss down. Sensory overload complete. At least I get my crate, right? Anyway, at the end of the day, the bugs are super annoying. At least I have Sapphire here to take me away. Next up, I want to talk about overpowered weapons. If there's too many overpowered stuff, it's not fun for most of the players. So what can they do? I mean,
I don't agree. I think the more overpowered stuff that's around the map gives more people the opportunity to do well, right? And that doesn't mean they're going to win the match. That just means that they you know, if they have some form of skill, right? Because you guys got to remember that just because you're casual doesn't mean you don't have skill to something. You could have movement skill, you could have aiming skill, you could have, you know, knowledge of like what to do in a match, how to rotate. Like there's so many different types of skills that you could have. And you also have to think that right now, the way they have it is you have the 3 queens that have the 3 different weapons, the sweeper, the rect revolver, and the assault rifle, right? The OXR. Okay. If you don't go to the queen, the only other good weapons are going to be at the black market, you know, which most people are probably going to go now because they don't want to go deal with the bugs. And then you have your S rank, or you got to go to the bunker. Okay, so now you're forcing casual players to do something they probably weren't doing in the first place. Before, they could drop down, get a legendary weapon, they're ready to go. And then they somehow they're on a team, they're on a squads team, they're on a trio, duos, whatever, and they go and they take out one of the queens and they get another good weapon. Now, that doesn't happen. They spawn in, they're stuck with whatever loot they get because they're probably not going to get the bugs because they don't want to deal with the bugs like they just said. And then the good player, for him, right, he's going to every freaking different location and killing everybody because he's a good player and he's the only one that's going to have the good stuff. Now, to be fair, he doesn't have any mythics or exotics that, you know, from the bunker or whatever, but he's good enough that he doesn't need it. And that's been my whole point. He's good enough that he doesn't need that stuff. So, of course, he's going to say that because he doesn't want to have to deal with that. But as the good player he is now playing in this season, after all the nerfs and the medallions being gone, he's running around with a freaking epic, whatever, what is that, legendary furry and a legendary freaking sentinel. I guarantee you he's going to run into people with the mythics. He's going to kill them. Because they're just not as good.
They clearly made an emergency call to vault all the medallions in this season, which is insane. They've never done that before. But I assume they're looking at everything and they're looking at the data and going, oh crap, like this isn't good. Like people are not having fun. They're getting absolutely bodied. They're getting slam dunked. Ow. Apparently I'm getting slam dunked. This guy's not getting slam dunked. He's him. Where'd he go? Pop one of these. Did he open the...
You should not be making an update. You should not be making an update for players who play the game casually. Especially if they only play once a day. Right? Because if you play the game casually and you only play one match, your opinion shouldn't matter that much. Now, if you're a casual player who gets home from work and plays a couple matches every day, then okay. But don't take word from that random person that played one match and then said, I don't like this season because the medallions and got off. Right? You as the developer have to make a balanced game for everybody. Right? It's got to be fun for the casual player, but it has to be rewarding to a good player who's been putting in the work. When you nerf everything and remove stuff from the game, it takes away the fun for everybody. Right? It's not either side's fault that Epic decided to only put 3 medallions in the game and put them in these wonky ass locations with these AI generated bugs that are annoying as fuck. If they had 10 medallions throughout the map, I guarantee you more people would have fun.
Vault? Oh, I guess he did. But yeah, the medallions were kind of unique this season because, well, if somebody good got them, like myself, and I'm not over-exaggerating, I don't think I lost a single game when I had all 3 medallions. That's how overpowered they were. If I had all...
How many games did you get all 3, though? What is the percentage? Not every game did you get all 3 medallions. And let's be real, if you're good enough to get all 3 medallions, you should win the game. That is the point of it. What are we talking about?
All 3 medallions, I had like a 100% win rate. How insane is that? Like, the game's over already, like 5 to 10 minutes in, if somebody gets all those medallions, especially if they're a good player. So Fortnite saw that, they recognized that, and they decided to let it go. They decided to vault up those medallions in an emergency patch. Pretty unprecedented. They do like to release things pretty overpowered and then nerf them down, but this was just insane. Plus, it was so hard for people on controller to like track somebody jumping, double jumping, and sliding with those medallions. And when they first released, they were double the insanity. Fortnite actually...
And here's the thing that's gonna fucking kill y'all. There's skill-based matchmaking in the game. So the people you're playing are supposed to be your skill level. I didn't run into people that had all 3 medallions that often. Maybe 1 or twice in my... Mind you, the 4 days, the 4 freaking days that they had it out because they nerfed it that fast. And then they nerfed it 11 days later. Or removed it 11 days later. So again, like... What are you talking about when we talk about this? Again, I have nothing against Typical Gamer. I get what he's saying, and I'm not trying to go at him. I'm going at the principle of what he's saying, right? I have nothing against Typical Gamer. But what he's saying is just a contradiction every step of the way, right? As a casual Fortnite player, I want the medallions. I want to run around and try to get better at the game. I know that if I get the medallion, my chances of winning are better. That's the point of playing video games, is that you want to win. You want to do better. And when they give you the tools, you have to go earn those tools. That's the point of video games, right? Like, you think about all the way to the simplest game of Pac-Man, right? The goal of Pac-Man is to get all of those things while avoiding the ghosts, okay? That sometimes there's power-ups that you could get, and it makes you invisible or whatever. And then you would take, that's when you're like, all right, cool, now I can go at the ghosts. But if there wasn't that ability, it would get boring over time because all you were doing is just around and just getting the dots. All you were doing the entire game is running away because you had no way to fight back.
Before they removed them from the game, made them half as effective. So I don't know if it wasn't tested or what, but that's just insane to me. Look at this guy. Oh, I gotta shoot this guy. Bean is scared. It's okay, Bean. They also removed the shockwave launchers, and that's because, well, people were just flying everywhere all the time. Everyone had a shockwave launcher. I actually like the changes. I think it's better.
See, everybody had a shockwave launcher. So if everybody has the same tool, what's the problem? That's called fair. It's the definition of fair. Everybody has the same ability to get it. It's fair.
Overall for Fortnite. But it kind of, I don't know if it ruins the fun, but like they give you a bunch of toys and then they're like, I'm going to take them away. And whether that's good for people or not, I don't think mentally people enjoy that feeling. Now we're going to get into how Fortnite can improve in just a little bit here, but there's still a couple more things. I think bots are a huge issue. Now for better or worse, I think there needs to be a certain level of bots in Fortnite. I think people underestimate how many games they would actually win if there wasn't bots. And I think Fortnite's clearly seen the data. Again, I don't work there. Just want to make that very clear.
But again, that's the lore of the Victory Royale. You're going up against 100 people. You shouldn't be winning matches back to back to back to back to back to back to back. There should be some form of like, all right, if you're a good player, you should win once out of every 10 matches. If you're a bad player, you're probably going to win once out of every 50 matches. Like, that should be the statistic. You should not be putting up your crown and seeing 1,000 wins unless you're playing some cheaper game mode like Blitz or Reload where it's faster gameplay. A Victory Royale for a 100 game, like, it should be a commitment. Like, there should be this sense of like, hey, like, we want to get into this Battle Royale and commit to this game and try to win. Right? Or you commit to just dying all the time and just having fun and doing goofy shit. There's one or the other. There shouldn't be an in between, right? So this idea that you should be winning every other match of Fortnite is just shouldn't be the way you should play the Fortnite or a battle royale in general, right? Like, the goal of the the goal, like, what am I trying to say? Let me take a minute to think about this. Let me actually get you the right wordage for what I want to say. The ultimate goal of playing Battle Royales is to be the victor. That's the most fun part of it. Going through that journey of that match and being the victor of that match is what matters. Right? Yes, some games you're going to get 15 kills, some games you're going to get 2. Some games you're not going to die, some days you're going to drop down 3 different times, your teammate's going to pick you up. But that's part of the journey. That's why people posted it on Snapchat back in the day, because there was so far and few between wins. But back then, there wasn't that much stupid stuff to get upset about until building started becoming more prevalent. So what I'm saying is if you give everybody the same tools to fight with, it becomes more realistic to accept, hey, I didn't win this match because I died to a guy that had a shockwave grenade launcher and Fizz. Well, so did I. He was just better than me at the moment. But if I'm running around and I went to a location and I didn't get the shockwave grenade launcher and then I died to a guy that had the shockwave grenade launcher, that's frustrating. This guy went to the bunker. He got the shockwave grenade launcher that shoots me up in the air. Let's say I'm playing good defense. I'm popping shots. And he just luckily shoots it over the rock. It shoots me up in the air and lasers me out of the sky. Maybe I even get third party from somewhere. That's not fun. But if I had my own shockwave launcher, he had a shockwave launcher, and we jumped at each other, that's a more even chance all the way up until either someone dies. You guys got to understand that. That's why people liked Call of Duty for so long, because it's even. You get your weapons. If someone's using a weapon you think is overpowered, you can switch to that weapon. If someone's running around and they're doing stupid stuff, you can switch and do stupid stuff with them.
But they wouldn't be making these decisions just, guessing. So they look at the data and they go, wow, okay, people don't like bots, let's take them out. They try it and then they're like, oh crap, well, people don't like losing more than people don't like bots. Does that make sense? So they run those numbers, they run those scenarios, and look.
But see, that's the problem with Epic, is they don't come out and just stick to their guns, right? Own your fucking game. If bots are not helping anybody get better, bots give people this false narrative. Now, I'll tell you something right now. As a good casual player versus let's say my girlfriend, she's not as good as me, but she's solid enough. In the beginning, she didn't know who a bot was, and what over time, well, playing with me, she's going to learn who a bot is. And now she realizes, oh, these are bots. And then it becomes this point of oh, we just killed a bot. We don't care. That's not fun. I'd rather not kill a bot and lose. But you have to change everybody's mentality. You snuck bots in there and you're like, hey, there's going to be, you're not owning it. Fucking own it, and I promise you people would understand. Give a detailed explanation on why you're going to remove bots and explain what the goal is. Hey, we want to remove bots because we want more player versus player interaction, right? We want wins to be far and few between so that way they mean more.
This is the conclusion. This guy's about to slam. That was a robot, by the way. Slick Elephant. I think I've eliminated him a ton before. Yeah, I've been calling Slick Elephant a robot and demeaning him this whole time, Oh, look at all these bugs. Oh, this is so cool. Oh, they're all on me. It's fun for a game or two, the bugs, I think. And then the novelty wears off fast. I'm not calling this Primal Season
I agree with that.
But I'm also not saying that. Anyway, I think that they can still have bugs in the game, but kind of adjust their behavior. A lot of content creators have brought this up as well. This is an idea I saw Courage kind of talk about before, and it was where it'd be cool if there's still bots in the game. Except, when you get to the later parts of the game, they all die off so that you don't finish the game with a robot. I think that's important. Bro, what is this guy doing?
But see, I don't like that either. Imagine being at Storm 4, there's 70 people left, and then all of a sudden 30 people died. Or like 45 people died. All of a sudden you go from 70 to 30, and you're like, huh? What happened? That'd be kind of stupid.
Moving on him. Wow, you got slammed.
Because then you're going into the game with this false narrative of like, oh, like, look at all these people. There's still all these people alive. And then in wave 4, boom, 40 people just left the match. And you're like, oh, well, this isn't fun anymore.
Ouch. Not taking any risks. I'm going to pop this. Bam. Oh, my heals. Guy had every heal in the game. So yeah, I think it'd be cool if they still have bots, may lower the amount. Would love to see it in no bot mode, but that is ranked mode, so there's that. But just make sure, Fortnite, that if there is robots, don't end the game with robots. It is so boring. I cannot stress this enough. It is the most boring thing ever to end the game searching for somebody for 10 minutes and then I find out it's a bot. Like, what a boring way to end a match. That could have otherwise been really fun. I don't know if you maybe eliminate the bots after like a few zones. Just make sure that the last person, just make sure that the last two people fighting are real. I think that's important. And then one thing I want to talk about is UEFN. I think the capabilities that we have as developers to make games in UEFN are still pretty limited. And for Fortnite to really expand, they need to get moving on it, you know? They've had all these incredible things in the works and saying coming soon, but they've been delayed. And custom items and some other incredible features have been delayed to the end of this year, maybe even early next year at this point. That hurts, especially when the goal for Fortnite is to make it like a platform, right? Where people can come and play any game they want on Fortnite. I think it's a really cool vision.
Right.
I share that vision, and that's why I started my game company Jogo, where we make the most fun games in Fortnite. And we've even started making games to help you get better at the game, like Ranked Day Meta Piece. You can, of course, just search up Typical Gamer if you guys want to find the maps. We just released one called Climb, which is essentially like an only up / peak type game. It's really cool. You should try it out with your friends. Fortnite needs to release more tools and do a couple more things, which I'm going to talk about in a second. Live events is the last thing I want to talk about in why I think Fortnite has been going down recently. Their live events have kind of sucked, right? I don't think I'm shocking anybody by saying that. They've been really small or just really like, eh. And they used to be so good with them. We need some proper hype up and we need some fun events with multiple stages. One of my favorite events ever was like the initial mech event. Guess what? They did it better with the mech 2.0 event. And it was awesome. I had so much fun playing that and watching it. Like, you can do it, Fortnite. Just got to get back to the roots here. Look at this guy. That guy just got absolutely bodied. I'm sure he wants more robots in the game. All right, so, you know, we went through all the doom and gloom here. Well, what can Fortnite do to change things around? Fortnite is one of the most fun games I've ever played, and that is a fact. I love Battle Royale, and I can play it forever, but I think that there is a need for non-Battle Royale games and for them to pop up. I think in the near future, there will be a game on Fortnite made by somebody that's not Epic Games that has more players than Battle Royale. That is going to happen. I don't know when, but it is going to happen, especially when the tools get better and when the download size of Fortnite gets smaller. So they're going to introduce something called Thin Client, which essentially, if you go to download Fortnite on your phone, it's like 60 gigabytes or something. Like, say you see a cool game out there, you're like scrolling on your phone, you see a cool game, you want to go play it real quick. Well, on Roblox or something, that is really, really fast. On Fortnite, it is not fast unless you already have Fortnite downloaded. So with Thin Client, it'll be essentially you get Fortnite, but the only thing you download is what you want to play, which could be that one specific game. I think that will be huge. I think there's going to be some time here where we see a lot more mobile players hop into Fortnite, especially when Thin Client is introduced. Don't forget, Fortnite Mobile was essentially banned for years. And if you look at games like Roblox that are exploding, 90+%, I'm just making this number up, but it's high number, 90+% of their player count is mobile. Like, it's a mobile first game, and Fortnite is pretty much all console players with a small amount of PC players. So think about that impact it's going to have when more players realize that, hey, you can now play Fortnite on your phone. I personally can't even play it on my phone yet because I live in Canada, but everybody in the US can play it now. So like, these are going to be W positive changes when they make their way through. It is going to take a little while, and it will take a while for people's perception of Fortnite as a mobile first platform. You know, it's going to take a while if it ever happens, but Fortnite is betting big on that. And I think Epic Games has such amazing people that work there that they can make it happen. They also have a lot of money too. Money makes the world go round. That's what they say, right? I think Fortnite has an opportunity with this upcoming Simpsons mini season, but even better than that, with the upcoming Chapter 7 to really tailor Battle Royale to the way that people want it and to really focus on what's at the core of Fortnite. At the end of the day, people love the core mechanics of the game, and Fortnite keeps on switching it around, and you know, that's good to keep things fresh. But I think also the familiarity of like the mechanics and how unique they are. Fortnite is very unique. I think that is mega important. This guy's gonna try to RPG me, huh? Bro, what is going on? No, actually, what is going on? This guy's just run away. Whatever, gives me more time to yap. I think Fortnite has taken a step in the right direction by making ranked the loot pool just, you know, what it actually is in tournaments. I think that's really, really important. And I think it's underrated how much people wanted that. I think that's one of the best changes Fortnite has made in a while, but a change that was made so late. I don't know why they did that after so many years. I think their argument was that, hey, if somebody's watching like a Fortnite tournament, we want them to be able to use the exact loot pool that they find in that tournament in their games, which I don't agree with that.
Wait, what?
Loot pool that they find in that tournament in their games, which
that's exactly what it should be. Is he about to say that he doesn't agree with that?
I don't agree with that notion. Like, if stuff is overpowered, okay, don't put it in comp and don't put it in ranked. How am I supposed to get good practice? You know?
I'm confused. Why are we worried about something that's overpowered? If it's overpowered and the pro players agree that it's overpowered, have that the same in ranked. Ranked and competitive, ranked in the league should be the same, right? Like, that's the same, right? Because as a ranked person, you're trying to be like the competitive. So they should have this. What? They should have the same shit. Yo, TG, bro, I don't understand you, bro. You're confusing me, bro. Like, see, y'all people that are good at the game have a flawed, like, have a hazed over your eyes, and forget that there's like 90% of people that are casual players that don't have all the same skill sets that you have. Not everybody's good, so you have to make the game more for everybody. So let the public matches have all that good shit and overpowered shit. Let them have fun. Because at the end of the day, they're not trying to play the game competitively. You're just a really good player that doesn't really take the game competitively. So you in your head want to dominate every lobby. So you're trying to side with the rank because you want everything to be balanced. No. Go play ranked if you want to play competitive and win every match. But if you want to have fun and run around, you're probably going to die a lot more in your pubs because you're not like, there's a lot more people that are probably closer to your skill level.
Now ranked actually seems like a good way to practice the game and to get better. Where's this guy going? I guess he launched in the storm. Oh my gosh. Wow. Anyway, Fortnite can definitely turn around. 100% they can. I believe in them. They just got to work on a few things, and we got to give them some time. Fortnite is not dying. Fortnite's just started. GG.
Yeah, so at the end of the day, Fortnite necessarily isn't dying. Again, on my personal opinion, as a Fortnite player who enjoys Fortnite from time to time, they have all this. They have the core of the game. It's addicting. It's addicting getting the kills. Like, when you get a kill, it's nice. When you watch someone drop to the floor, it's nice. But then what's not nice is dying to good players that just are inherently have better skill than you. And I understand that that's what happens. But there's multiple ways to play a video game. There's multiple ways to play it. When you take away everything from the players, the loot pool, the medallions and all that stuff, it all gets down to just skill. And for casual players, we don't have that much time to put in that skill practice. If you want to showcase your skill, go play ranked and compete against players of your similar skill level. We as casual players want to be able to have fun and sometimes win matches if we get good loot. That's all it is. Right? So, with that being said, leave a like, leave a comment below on what y'all think about that video. And go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Y'all know it's free. See you guys on the next one. Peace.